Cinema Classics is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street in Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.com. The award-winning Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org. And like us on Facebook. I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
I'm John DeSando.
This is Cinema Classics.
We're here
at the Gateway Film Center.
Right. And Johnny has agreed, and you'll know, our audience will know, I cede no second to him, other than necessary, but I am going to cede most of the show to him because I'm convalescing with my voice.
Yeah. That is some
it's
terrible
concession.
ailment you have going on there. You sound rough.
Yeah.
You sound like Nick Nolte after a bender.
I know. I recently saw Tomorrowland, directed by Brad Bird, Disney film, George Clooney. I liked it. Most people did not.
I did not like
They
it.
thought it was fluffy. They thought it was disoriented.
I thought it was just scattered and unfocused, and I thought some of the performances were really annoying.
Okay.
I did not like the little boy, the George Clooney as a youth character.
Yeah.
I didn't like the young British girl.
Oh, I loved her. See.
Did you? Well,
Yeah.
She was
blue-eyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great. But anyway, but the point being that on that weekend, Pitch Perfect 2 trounced Tomorrowland, and Brad Bird has had a fine record with movies. He's had 2 Oscars, Best Animated Feature for The Incredibles and Ratatouille. So this guy.
Well, that's an interesting pronunciation, Ratatouille.
Yeah.
You don't say Ratatouille?
Well, you're probably right. I do my own.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you just
I know,
when you
I
say
just-
God.
But because we have a 2-time Oscar winner here, that has really essentially a failure on that. So I'm wondering, let's look a little bit at him and try to.
Yeah. Sure. Well, he obviously made his name in animation.
Yeah.
He started with The Iron Giant, which is a lovely movie.
Oh.
Really great, 50s style animation about a boy and his pet robot.
And an Iron E.T.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a terrific movie, with a sort of anti-war message, or it's set in the 50s, right? Post-war, Cold War stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's really lovingly brought to life. That is a great film. Then he follows that up many years later, John. It wasn't like this guy was cranking out
5 years later.
5 years later. That's a long time for a director to go without making another movie, especially after one as well received and as successful as The Iron Giant. Then he makes The Incredibles.
Yeah. Oh.
Which is still to date one of Pixar's finest achievements.
I mean, what rich characterization! What a concept!
And he brilliantly sort of bridged 2 different genres and satirized 2 different genres there. The spy genre and the superhero genre. So it plays out like a James Bond movie, but with superheroes in it. So there are a number of tropes that he trades in on there, from pulling from both of those 2 different styles. Then, a few years later, he has Ratatouille, which I gotta tell you, not great.
That movie lives for me just for the depiction of the food critic.
Yeah, Peter O'Toole.
Right,
For that,
which I thought was a slam against all of us
as
critics, but it was right to the point. Sitting alone, determining the fates of others.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not enough of the film critic or the food critic.
Right.
And Ratatouille was, I thought, overly praised.
Very cute concept. The little mouse, is he?
It's a rat.
As a rat.
That's Ratatouille.
That'd be typical of me.
It's not Mouseatouille. It's Ratatouille.
In a French restaurant. Actually cooking, putting on.
Yeah, I know. It's just slightly crazy.
Does it give you the whimsical side of Brad Bird? Do you think, now you've mentioned Iron Giant, Incredibles, and Ratatouille, whimsical?
Yeah, for sure.
Say?
Whimsical, yeah.
So we could characterize our director that way, but then he goes off like Michael Curtiz and does Mission Impossible.
Yeah, Mission Impossible 4, otherwise known as Ghost Protocol, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And certainly called upon his ability to direct cartoonish action. Instead of an Iron Giant or a costumed superhero or a really culinarily skilled rat. He's got Tom Cruise scaling one of the tallest buildings in the world.
Yeah.
And of course, Tom Cruise, I think, you know, I'm a fan of his.
Yes.
And he goes out of his way to give audiences a quality product. I think he took a risk on Brad Bird, him having been unproven in the live action mold.
Yeah.
So it worked.
And it still retains some of Brad Bird's lighthearted characteristics, and that's what I like about it. He talks about Pixar almost as if it were a cult.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is totally engaged with that organization.
He's like a Pixarologist.
Very good. He says they're not some sort of focus group. Because Pixar comes from a very pure place, it's why I'm interested in staying involved with them as long as I can.
Yeah, well,
That's
he knows where his bread is buttered.
Right, there's a devotee. He's also said,
Well, they made him. I mean, he made his name there, so they treated him well.
and he says Pixar films are the way they are because they're films that the storytellers are excited to be involved with. Okay?
Yeah. So it sounds like he's involved. He likes story. He appreciates story. So I'm not sure what happened to the story in Tomorrowland because there isn't one.
Well, yes, there is.
There's not a good story. Come on, that story is stupid.
No, I mean, she gets the pin, the magic pin that
Right.
could put her into Tomorrowland
Right.
without really putting her.
Which is basically
virtual.
essentially an advertisement for Disney.
Yeah, that's for sure. She gets to interact with George Clooney as cranky ex-NASA operative, right?
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
So there's some action going on there.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Listen, they're just trying to get to
all.
this Tomorrowland place, and Brad Bird throws all manner of obstacles in their way. That's it. And then, of course, it all culminates with the classic stupid action trope where the only way to solve the problem is to blow something up. Like there's this central thing, this processor, this giant processor that the only way they can, restore hope to humanity
All
is if they blow this machine up. I mean, that's so dumb.
But there's nothing wrong with the hope concept.
No, there's nothing wrong with the
I
hope
think it's
concept.
new.
But if you hang that concept on the hook of blowing something up, I think that's pretty unimaginative. Especially for a guy of Brad Bird's imagination.
Yeah.
He should have thought his way out of that paper bag.
And this summer, as in so many summers, we'll have explosions upon explosions. That's what I like about it. There are not as many in this film. I would ordinarily criticize Disney as being too sweet. This one I find nice as a counterbalance to Mad Max, for instance.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of bombast in this movie. Some of the fight scenes, there's just a lot of noise,
And speechifying.
And speechifying. I don't even mind that
I
if
don't
it's
either.
sincerely delivered.
I like it.
I love the central message here, right? That, we don't want to lose sight of innovation and hope and the hope that we can place in science and pushing forward and, coming up with new ideas, and we have to rely on all these different people all over the world. That's such a great message. And yet, it's in service of this clunky, directionless, bombastic movie.
I can't deny it. Well, I think that's enough for Big Bird. I think we've done it. I think that's all we have.
Oh, you've been waiting to deliver that line the whole time.